Hey guys, welcome to my predictions and preview for WrestleMania 40 this weekend. As you can see on the screen here, this is the schedule that started on Monday and continued yesterday on Tuesday, and will continue today. In fact, it's 8:40 a.m. as I'm recording this, and in about 20 minutes on X, aka Twitter, will be WWE Speed. It's a new show, which involves 3-minute timed matches. Yes, they will be timed, and apparently there's going to be a champion crown. So these matches are going to be tournaments, if you will, tournament matches. Then, as you can see on Thursday, the bump will be streaming on YouTube and Peacock, and apparently it might stream from WWE World. But WWE World, which is like a theme park, a superstore, if you will be opening around 3 o'clock Eastern. And then on Friday, we have the let me zoom this in, guys. Hold on for a sec. We have the WrestleMania kickoff. Okay, WrestleMania kickoff, and then we have SmackDown. And then after SmackDown, we have the Hall of Fame, which they did officially announce, as far as we know, the last inductee into the Hall of Fame, that being, of course, Leah Maivia, The Rock's grandmother. So Friday, in 2 days, will be the kickoff to WrestleMania, SmackDown, and then the Hall of Fame. And then Saturday, we'll have NXT Stand and Deliver from the Wells Fargo Center, where SmackDown and Raw will be emanating on Friday and Monday. Then we have the countdown to WrestleMania, and then we have WrestleMania itself at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 Eastern. And I think the reason they do that, is because it's more reasonable, if you will. It's more reasonable for people to watch and everything. And also, when you think on the East Coast, it's like, well, do you want to keep going, or do you want to be in the sunlight as much as you can, especially during daylight savings time? And I think that's the other reason, the main reason they did it. So yeah, WrestleMania Night 1 will conclude Saturday's events, and then the Slammies will start the second day's events, which is their award ceremony. I don't know if that'll be televised or not. Then we got another countdown to WrestleMania, and then Night 2 of WrestleMania. And then Monday, this Monday will conclude WrestleMania week. So, big week for them. But we're here to talk about, of course, WrestleMania. That's what we're here to talk about. Alright, so with WrestleMania this year, I will say that I know some people would say it's not the most hyped up WrestleMania, except for the main event matches on both nights. But it's one of those WrestleManias, I think, especially being the 40th anniversary, to where you have to go by that old saying of, don't judge a book by its cover. Because they might surprise you, and I think they will. So, what do we have for night one, if you will? What do we have for night one, match-wise? Well, match-wise, we have on night one, we have apparently this has been confirmed. It will be kicking off night one, because she's always wanted to kick off a WrestleMania in a match. We have Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Title. This could be a toss-up in my opinion, because we saw recently that despite how people might feel about it, they wanted to do the shoot angle to build up to the match between Becky and Rhea. And on Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour, they did that. They do show that Rhea has an injured wrist. I don't know if that'll be cleared up by Saturday. But this is an interesting matchup here, because, a lot of people are saying Rhea's going to win. It's like, it basically would build her stock even more. It would build her stock even more if she ends up winning this match. and basically having the bragging rights of saying, hey, I beat 2 of the 4 horsewomen in back-to-back WrestleManias. Charlotte last year, Becky this year. So I don't deny that if that was to happen, it would definitely put her on that, put her on that upper echelon, pedestal of, basically being one of the more dominant women's champions in modern history. But here's the question. Will Rhea win? Will she win on Saturday? Because a lot of people thought during the pandemic mania, which was 4 years ago, everybody thought that Shayna Baszler was going to lose. Oh, not lose, but Shayna Baszler was going to beat Becky. Shayna was going to beat Becky, and, she would be women's champion. That did not happen. Becky ended up beating Shayna. And, and thinking back on that, it makes people wonder, will they do the same thing here? Like, we think Rhea's going to win. It's obvious she's going to win. But will they pull a Shayna Baszler and have Becky win? You see, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, what do they value more? It's like, who do they value more? And I don't know. To me, it's a toss-up. But if I'm, if I'm the new regime here in WWE, and I want to put all my eggs in the basket of mommy, if you will, then I go with Rhea. I book Rhea to win. I have her and Becky basically tear the house down to get people on the feet, and excited for what else is to come for WrestleMania. But then after that, I would have Rhea win. I'd have her win. I'd have Becky go for the disarmer and then, on the weak arm, and then have Rhea just power up, and find a way to position her into the Riptide. That's what I would do. And I would have Rhea walk out the champion. But again, Becky, her contract's up. I think she's already signed. She just can't say anything right now, in my opinion. She basically stated on the MMA Hour that she only has 2 months left. And, there hasn't been any real talk, but I don't believe that. I think she has signed. She just can't say anything just yet until her current contract is over. And then they'll make the announcement of, oh, she's signed. Because Cody's was coming up, I think, this month. And guess what? It's announced he signed a multi-year deal. And I think Cody already signed. He just couldn't say anything until now. That's just my opinion. And, and honestly, that's how a lot of contractual companies work. So I think she did sign. She's just, going to wait out until they're just going to have her wait out these last 2 months of her current contract before saying anything. And we'll definitely know more about that too, if you don't believe that, if she beats Rhea on Saturday. But again, it's a toss-up, and all bets are favoring Rhea, but I don't know. I'd have to say, I want to go Rhea too. Rhea's got the momentum, but I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm gonna say, because she's got a book out, and they're gonna want her to sign, they're gonna play up. They want her to sign what she already has. She just can't say anything. I'm gonna say Becky. I think Becky's gonna win, and if she's gonna do a book tour, it'd be great publicity if she has the women's world title with her. That's just my opinion. So we'll see. And if Rhea is injured with the wrist, then be the best idea for right now. Then Rhea could get it back and do an even better and more dominant run than before. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Becky, even though I think Rhea's gonna win. Based on a lot of factors, the book, her re-signing, which she already did, but she just can't say anything, and the publicity that her having the women's world title, with her during the tour, would have for the company. I think I think Becky, is favor. I think Becky's gonna, because that's a place in her favor, I should say. I think Becky's gonna walk out with the championship, in my opinion. I hope maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. But I think, even though all bets are favoring Rhea, I think all signs of book tour, re-signed with the company. She just can't say anything and all that. I think, and in history as well, when you think, oh, somebody else is going to beat her, but it doesn't happen. Yeah, I think there's a good chance Becky could walk out with this, all based on that. All based on that. Just getting some coffee there. All right, next match, Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. This is going to be a good match, good wrestling match. Both men have obviously fought against each other, but prior to WWE, we just don't see much footage of that. We probably won't see much footage of that until we get closer to the match itself. But yeah, I'm definitely, here's the thing about WrestleMania 40. This is, it's the anniversary, and it being the anniversary, you want you want memorable moments. You want moments that nobody thinks going to happen, but they happen. Now, just like with Rhea, all favoritism is towards Gunther to retain because this isn't Chad Gable he's facing, it's Sami Zayn. And now there's potential rumors, speculation that Gable could turn heel on Sami, but I don't know. I mean, if that happens, then, what does that do storyline-wise for, like with, I got to win the championship for my daughter and everything. What is, it's like, it just doesn't make sense in that department. So, for me, it's a toss-up. My gut, my brain is telling me Gunther, but my gut is telling me Sami. That way they can move Gunther on to the next level. Because he doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship to challenge, the world champ or the WWE champ, later on this year. So, again, it's a toss-up. Brain is telling me Gunther, gut is telling me Sami. So, it's a toss-up to me. I can't really make a pick there. Next match, Judgment Day defends in a 6-pack tag team ladder match for the Undisputed Championships. The stipulation, the catch, is that both championships have to be pulled down simultaneously for the match to end, or at least both championships have to be pulled down for the match to end. And pretty much this has brought a lot of scrutiny towards WWE and theorizing by fans of, does this mean we're going to get two separate tag divisions, one on Raw, one on SmackDown? We'll see. Some are saying that whoever wins both belts, they should just make a new set of titles and have them float, just like with the women's tag titles. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. But again, it's Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest defending against DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, who I think are going to get DIY, they're going to get a huge reception there. They are. You got the other team of the Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth. You got New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory and Garrison Waller, and New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. There have been speculations that A-Town Down Under might get taken out, or maybe New Day might get taken out. It all depends. To be replaced by somebody else. Who that would be, we don't know. But that's what Dave Meltzer said, so take that with a grain of salt. He hasn't had the best, week or 2 weeks, if you will, when it comes to basically making observations, if you will, based on what he's heard, or sort of heard, because you've had The Rock call him out, you've had CM Punk call him out, so yeah. If I'm Dave Meltzer, I'd just lay low for a little while. But yeah, this is, again, this is to determine who's going to walk out with the tag team titles, the undisputed titles. And again, word is that this could lead to a splitting of the belts. I would say keep the belts on Judgment Day because, Finn Balor, apparently his contract's up real soon. And, there's speculation, take it with a grain of salt, that he'll leave. He's going to want to leave. That's not true. And let me explain this right now. Let me just take this moment right here to explain this. For those that come out, I want you guys to pay attention to the names of these people that make these reports. For those that come out and say, "Oh, this person's going to leave," and da 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 da. Again, all these people really are, when it gets proven that they get, when people call them out in the comment section of "No, you're wrong," and everything, whether it's on X, aka Twitter, or Facebook, all these people really are just fans that want their dream matches. They come out and say, "Oh, Finn Balor's contract's up. He's going to leave. He might go all day." Look, don't believe that, because all they're saying is, "Ooh, I hope he leaves and we can have our dream matches in AEW." Don't believe that. Don't believe that for a second. Okay? For all we know, he probably signed too. He just can't say anything right now. He probably re-signed. He just can't say anything. So, I would take whatever you're hearing about Finn's future with a grain of salt, because all it really is at the end of the day is just a bunch of fans going like, "Ooh, I can't wait for this. I can't wait. I want my dream match." It's like, give it a rest. Okay? Give it a rest. But anyway, me, in my opinion, I would say keep it on Judgment Day. You know, if you're going to start breaking down the other major faction in this company, you know, and we'll talk about that in a little while, then you got to keep them hot. You got to. But again, we'll see. But my opinion, keep them on, at least keep the Raw titles on Judgment Day, in my opinion. Or the Raw portion of the tag titles on Judgment Day. But it's, like I said, it's WrestleMania 40, and I would say that more than likely we're going to get new tag champs. And I think one set of the tag titles, I think it's going to go to Awesome Truth, and that will be the SmackDown portion. I think that's what's going to happen. And I think the Raw portion of the belts are going to go to DIY. I just get this feeling. Now again, if it was me, I'd keep it on Judgment Day. I'd keep it on Damian. I'd keep it on Finn. But I'm not me. But I'm not me. But I'm not calling the shots there. But yeah, if I was them, I would say, keep both belts, or at least keep the Raw belts on Judgment Day, and give the SmackDown belts to New Catch Republic, if you will. But I've got a feeling they're going to go with Awesome Truth, winning the SmackDown belts, and DIY winning the Raw belts. That's just my opinion. Now, as far as the potential of one of the other teams, either A-Town Down Under or the New Day being replaced, there is word going around that apparently the Motor City Machine Guns, MCMG, are free agents now from TNA, and people are saying they're more than likely going to be AEW bound. We're not sure yet. We won't probably find out till maybe tonight if we hear the music play as, like, let's say, a mystery team for the tournament. If we hear that, then yeah, they're all elite. But if not, and if what Meltzer is saying has any truth to it, then I would expect what people are feeling and hearing themselves to be a reality, that we might see the MCMG show up at WrestleMania to take the place of either A-Town Down Under or the New Day. That's just my opinion. But until we get any, evidence about that, either tonight on Dynamite or Saturday, right now I'm sticking with what we have, team-wise currently. But again, if I was, running things, I would keep, the Raw belts with the Judgment Day, and I would give the New Catch Republic the SmackDown belts. But I think the way they're going to go is DIY gets the Raw belts, Awesome Truth gets the SmackDown belts. That's just my opinion. As to what I think is going to happen. Okay, next up we have brother versus brother, Jimmy and Jey Uso. It's not the first time we've had brother versus brother at WrestleMania, legitimate brothers, not storyline. Because of course we've had Brett and Owen, we've had Matt and Jeff Hardy, now we have Jimmy and Jey Uso. This is something they've been wanting to do for a while. And this is going to be a show stealer. This is going to be one of the show stealers of Saturday. These guys are going to go all out because it might be the only time they get to face each other. Unless they do rematches afterwards, but I think it might be the only time they face each other. I'm going to go with Jey Uso. Now, I know people are saying, well, WWE might want to go the traditional route where the person you think won't win, the heel brother, in this case being Jimmy, is going to win. Because when Brett took on Owen, we thought Brett was going to win. Owen won. When Jeff took on Matt, we thought Jeff was going to win. Matt won. So, yeah, there's a good chance. History is on Jimmy Uso's side that, he could walk out with a victory. And it would be a major victory for him. But I'm going to go with Jey Uso. He's got a lot of momentum right now. And obviously they do want to push him, as a top singles competitor in the WWE. So I'm going to go with Jey Uso. But the match, I will say, it's going to be crazy. It will be crazy. Okay, next match is going to be Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control, consisting of Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. And I will say this is going to be a good match. It's Jade's second match in the company. She's going to be limited to what she can do. So Bianca and Naomi will be carrying a bulk of the match. But unfortunately, I do have to say that, Asuka will be on the losing end, once again for WrestleMania. But I don't think she's going to be the one that takes the pinfall. I really don't. I think the one that takes the pinfall is going to be Dakota Kai. And this will basically be instrumental in Dakota being the next one to be kicked out of Damage Control. And then Damage Control after WrestleMania will evolve into what many people have always felt that it's going to become. And that is the Black Lotus Club, or the Black Lotus Triad, or at least some variation of it in WWE. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Bianca, Jade, and Naomi, unless they do a miscommunication between them, and somebody turns heel and costs them the match to Damage Control. I'm going to go with Bianca, Jade, and Naomi, and I think Dakota takes the pinfall, which leads to her getting kicked out, and again, that allows the metamorphosis and the evolution of Damage Control into the variation in WWE known as the Black Lotus Triad. Next up, we have the Latino World Order, the LWO, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee against Santos, Escobar, and Dominik Mysterio. This is going to be interesting. This is kind of a continuation of Dom and Rey's match from last year. Consider it sort of a quasi-sequel, because now you have Santos involved, and you have Dragon Lee involved. And this is going to be, to me, a love letter to Lucha Libre. That's what I'm looking at. It's going to be a love letter to Lucha Libre. Who wins here? That's kind of a question. I think, if they want to keep pushing Dom, because what's going on here in storyline is you have Dom associating himself with Legado del Fantasma, and not really communicating very well with Judgment Day. So there's something there to where it feels like Dom's going to turn on the Judgment Day and go with Legado del Fantasma, and he's going to basically be the new de facto leader, along with Santos. It just gives you that feeling that like something's going to happen. Like the Judgment Day is going to see what Rey has seen, what others have seen, and that is you can't trust Dom. No matter how he'll try to kiss up and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did this and that." No, it's getting off that vibe that they're going to see that now. They're going to see that, and they're going to they're going to pay a price. But yeah, this is going to be in my opinion a love letter to Lucha Libre, and I think in the end. I'm gonna go with the LWO. I'm gonna go with Dragon Lee getting the pin, and I think he gets the pin on Dom. I do. I think Dragon Lee will be the one that gets the pin on Dom, but this will be far from over. I think that's what it's going to be. I think it'll be far from over. But again, with Dom doing this, I feel like there's something building. Like obviously, Judgment Day is going to get betrayed by him, possibly down the line, to where he'll want to be with Legado del Fantasma as their leader because, hey, he's Dirty Dom. You can't trust him. You know, he lies, cheats, and steals like his real papi, if you know what I mean. So, we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go with the LWO on this one. Then the main event of night 1 is the Bloodline, Rock and Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. The stipulations are if Rhodes and Rollins wins, then all members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside during the WWE Championship match on night 2 between Cody and Roman. But if Rock and Roman win, then the championship match will be Bloodline rules. Anything goes. We kind of got a taste of that on Monday when Seth took on Solo in a Bloodline rules match. This to me is going to be crazy. I think Rock will be limited in what he does, so I think Roman's going to carry a bulk of the match. But then again, I might be surprised. But I'm going to say, honestly, because here's the thing about this match. You would obviously believe that it's going to be the Bloodline. It's going to be Rock and Roman that win this match. And that's going to make that main event championship match on Sunday. Anything goes. It's obvious, right? But then again, Triple H is a traditionalist. He's old school. He's the kind of guy that wants to see the hero get his moment and have it done the right way. So I would not be surprised if they did say, okay, Rhodes, Rollins, you're winning, and that's going to lead to Rhodes and Rollins winning. Oh, not Rhodes, but it's going to lead to Rhodes winning on Sunday. But it's one of those situations where you don't know. It's hard to pick a winner to we're looking to go with. But I will say this. If they go with The Rock and Roman winning the match, then I'm going to say Rock is going to get betrayed. I am. I've said this before. I said this in a previous video. I'll say it again. I think, you can. I honestly believe you cannot have Roman be champion for as long as he's been champion, and make him be second fiddle to The Rock. And already they're showing dissension between the two, not on camera, but just do little verbations by, and little visuals here and there by Paul Heyman, by Roman, by Rock. You know something's going to happen. You see something's going to happen anyway. And what I believe honestly will occur is if The Rock and Roman win this match, I could see Roman, as soon as The Rock is raising his hand, he has his back turned, I could see Roman taking the chair, because obviously they're going to have a chair or two involved in this as well. I could see him taking the chair and doing to Rock what Seth Rollins did to him 10 years ago, and that's stabbing Rock in the back, and then maybe looking down on him and thanking him for the Bloodline rules for the next night, but then also acknowledging that, hey, I was on to you and Cody, and you ain't going to take this from me, being the undisputed title. So I could see something like that happening, but we'll see. Well, that might make it too obvious, or that might be too obvious for something, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they got planned. But again, it's a toss-up. I'm not sure where they're going to want to go with this. So we'll see what they do. Come Sunday. But again, if Bloodline wins, I would expect a Roman Reigns betrayal on The Rock, and him revealing that he's been on to him the whole time, and that him and Cody are not taking this away from him. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have Rollins turn on Cody as well. And then what you do there is you flip the fan support dynamic from Seth to Drew, because now fans, after seeing what happened the previous night, are going to boo Seth and cheer for Drew. So that'll make things very interesting. All right, night 2, and this is the one, as far as championships goes, you have to really be on the lookout for. The first match, apparently, that will start night 2 off will be Rollins and McIntyre for the world title. I think no matter what happens on night 2, whether Seth turns or not, and we could see that. We could see a double turn. We could see, and not this whole face-heel dynamic kind of double turn. No, a double turn on both sides of the match. I think whatever happens, I think Drew's walking out with the title. I think he will. I think he will walk out with the belt. And I definitely think that we will get a cash in here, or at least an attempt, because they just had Damian hint that he might do it on WrestleMania, but we don't know which match it could be. So I would say they're gonna go, and I would say they're gonna go, and give the match to Drew and everything. He's gonna get his moment. Fans are gonna cheer him, because if they do what I think they might do, I'm not saying they will, with Seth the previous night, then again that switches the whole fan support dynamic. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Drew no matter what, and I think CM Punk might get involved. He's gonna do commentary, but he might get involved. I'm not saying he will, but he might get involved. We'll see what happens. But I think he might get involved in the attempted cash-in. I think that might be what happens, and then that backfires. So I'm gonna go with Drew McIntyre to win the match. The match will be great. It'll be a great opener for night 1. And again, you know what? I'm not gonna be surprised if, based on what happens potentially on night 2 in the main event, or night 1 in the main event, that we have a flip of the fan support. I would not be surprised. All right. Next match, IYO SKY against Bayley for the Women's Championship. This is going to be an interesting match because, obviously you want to build momentum even if they lose the previous night for what I believe is going to be the Black Lotus Triad, or at least a variation of it, because like I said, I think Dakota's taking the pinfall in that match. So to me, I would say all bets should be on IYO, but people love Bayley, and Bayley has said she's gonna have probably the group that performs her song, playing her to the ring maybe, but I think we're gonna possibly get that, but then it's gonna switch over, and then we're gonna get the old hugger theme. That's right. I think Bayley's gonna come out to the theme we know her for now, but I think what's gonna happen is, and she's gonna have the band play her to the ring. But I think what's gonna happen is she's going in, like, doing mid-entrance. They're gonna stop, and then all of a sudden you're gonna hear the hugger theme happen. Start playing, I should say. I'm trying to think about what I'm gonna say. You're gonna hear the hugger theme start playing, and then she's gonna, strip off her outfit, and she's gonna have a hugger outfit on. So I've got a feeling we might see the return of the hugger, but it'll be a hybrid version of the hugger, basically of the Bayley that we see now and the Bayley we've had before. So I think that's what we're going to go. We're going to hybrid Bayley, if you will. And I think because of that, Bayley's walking out with the championship. I do believe that. Now, could I be wrong and IYO walks out with the championship still? Yeah. But I think and again, it's one of those matches that's a toss-up. But I would say Bayley's walking out because the story just fits it. It just fits it. All right, next match, LA Knight against AJ Styles. This is going to be a good match. It's a grudge match. AJ is upset that LA Knight took his spot for the Undisputed Championship match against Roman last year at Crown Jewel. AJ said he's going to debut he's hinted at he's going to debut a new theme at WrestleMania. Whatever that theme is, we'll see. If it's anything like his evil theme, as they call it, from TNA, that's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. But who wins here? Does LA Knight win? Does AJ Styles win? Who walks out with the champion? Who walked out the winner? I'm gonna say AJ Styles, because even though it's WrestleMania and it's LA Knight's WrestleMania debut, and obviously he should win, I think AJ's gonna win. And why do I say that? Because I think we're gonna get a Bullet Club-esque like reunion, and it's gonna be Carl and Luke Gallows coming out to help. And, even mention, I think we're going to get a Mia Yim, mention, a Michin heel turn. So I see them trying to come out and help, along with Michin. And when that doesn't work, I think we see the debut of Tama Tonga. I do. And then we're going to have a Bullet Club-esque like reunion, and the OC is going to be reunited, stronger than ever, now that they have Tama in the group. So I'm going with AJ because of that. I just feel it. I mean, all due respect to LA Knight, he does deserve to win at WrestleMania. He's got a huge fan support, but I think you have him lose here, he's not going to lose that support. It's just going to build momentum for the bigger rematch at Backlash and even beyond that. And maybe you can build something for War Games. Who knows? But I'm going to go with AJ Styles. Next match, triple threat match for the United States title. Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. This is going to be a good match. Logan Paul has definitely proven he belongs in his first few years. And, being in the ring with someone like Randy Orton is a big, big deal. No matter what people say, that's a big, big deal. So who walks out with the championship? I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens. I know people might say, well, Logan Paul is a media star. He's been bringing relevancy to it. Yeah, I understand that. But if you want to separate Logan Paul into an individual program with Randy Orton, then this is the way you do it. You have Randy cost him the match, or you have Randy RKO him. Instead, Randy, you could have Randy try to cover him, but I think Randy will be like, Kevin, it's all yours. And Kevin will win. And then Logan will blame Randy for that. So we'll see what happens. But then again, you don't know. Maybe Logan will win and retain. They build him up to be that way, if you will. But I'm going to go with Kevin Owens walking out, and I think it's going to be because Randy Orton RKO's Logan, lets KO get the pin, and then that separates, Logan and Randy do their thing, and then Kevin can do his thing with whoever they program him with, and I think who he'll get programmed with as far as the U.S. title goes is going to be AJ Styles. I think so. Alright, next matchup, Philadelphia Street Fight. It'll be the Pride, Bobby Lashley, and the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, against the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, and AOP, Akam, and Razor. And it's going to be a Philadelphia Street Fight. And when Kross did his little TikTok video, if you will, on social media, he had the old school ECW t-shirt on. And I think this is going to be a crazy match. And it's going to be a violent match, because I think it's going to be one of those matches that, it's in Philadelphia. To me, it's going to be like a tribute to ECW. And I think you're going to see thumbtacks. You might see a flaming table. Maybe you might see glass. But I'll put it this way. Philadelphia Street Fight, it's going to be, and going in ECW country, it's going to be thumbtacks, barbed wire, flaming table. Look for those three. But who walks out? Who walks out with the win? I'm going to go with the Final Testament. I think, you build them up to be this, very threatening, very, I guess you could say, Silence of the Lamb-like group. And I think they need the momentum right now. The Pride, they've done a lot. Bobby's been champion before. Angelo and Montez have been champions. I think they can afford the loss here. And I think the Final Testament will win. I think they will win. And definitely what I think is going to play a part in it is thumbtacks and barbed wire. But, not just that. I see that happening. But I think but again, and I see that playing into the finish, I should say. But what I do see playing into the finish is a flaming table. I do. So I'm going to go with the Final Testament. And then, as far as we know, the main event, the Undisputed Championship, whether it's a one-on-one fair match or bloodline rules. This is the toss-up. This is another toss-up here because all signs point to Cody walking out with the championship, but we thought that last year. And Roman walked out with the title. Now, I've always had the belief, and I mentioned this before, I think Cody losing to Roman last year wasn't the plan. I think Cody was supposed to win, but then Vince bullied his way back into power, and I think Vince made the final call and said, no, Roman's walking out with the title, not Cody. No. Cody has to face more adversity. Yeah. Just another way, in my opinion, for Vince to stick it to the Rhodes family, mostly the Dusty's kids, because of what Dusty did competing against him. But he's not there anymore, so maybe we might get the fairy tale, and we might get the story being finished, but we'll see. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. I mean, there's that temptation to break Hogan's record, which I don't think is going to get broken. And, there's that respect for Dusty and wanting his kid to finish his story. But, I don't know. We'll have to just see. We'll just have to see what happens. It's going to be a good match. There's no doubt. And whatever the outcome is, we're just going to have to deal with it. We're just going to have to accept it. I mean, it does feel like they're taking elements from when Cody was in AEW with the whipping he got on Monday by Roman and Rock with the weight belts. Very reminiscent of what MJF did to him. We got that added stipulation, whether it's official or not, to where if he loses, he can't get another shot ever again. Reminiscent of when he faced Jericho. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if WWE rectifies what AEW made a mistake on. So we'll see what happens. But again, it's a toss-up, and I can't really say, who's going to walk out with the title. I can't. But anyway, that's, but anyway, that's all I can really say on WrestleMania so far. I'm trying to think about what I'm going to say here. All I can say is we just got to watch and see what happens in all these matches. But the main event ones, they're like toss-ups. And I think that's the benefit of having Rock here, whether we like it or not. Rock is, to me, having everybody up their game. And he's having them be like, look, if you want people to take you serious, if you don't want people to look at you as a joke, make it as believable as you can. Make it as believable as you can. Make them feel and believe what you're doing is real. And he's done, and he's helped do that. Not just for his matches, or for the matches he's a part of or going to associate with on night 1 and 2, but for everybody. He's helped them raise the bar for everybody. So, to me, it's going to be a WrestleMania to watch and enjoy. But again, these are just my predictions and everything, my thoughts on what's going to happen this weekend. Give me your thoughts. What do you think is going to occur on WrestleMania? Who do you think walks out with the championships in their championship matches? Who do you think walks out the victors in their matches? Do you agree with some of the outcomes, I think, when it comes to, like, with the AJ Styles LA Knight match? How I think Bayley will show up, like, start out the way she is now, but then here's the hugger. Do you think Logan Paul loses because Randy Orton RKO's him and allows Kevin Owens to get the pin? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below. Comment down below. Do you think a tag team might be taken out of the 6-pack challenge and get replaced by the MCMG, the Motor City Machine Guns? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? Comment down below. Live chat during the premiere. Do you think we'll see the potential metamorphosis of Damage Control into Black Lotus Triad because Dakota Kai will take the pinfall loss? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, guys? Let me know down below in the comment section as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video, and until next time, guys, I am out.